Hello, welcome back. Thank you for joining me again here. We're going to continue a recent theme about the obstacles to peace, peace which flows from us quite naturally. It's who we are, and that's what it does. Love extends itself, so that's what it does. Along the way, we have thrown up several roadblocks, multiple, a great number of obstacles to peace that peace must flow across. We've placed them all there. We can remove them. I guess if you take nothing out of this or any of these conversations about A Course in Miracles, take that all of the distractions, all of the complications, all of the obstacles to peace, all of the barriers that we've interposed between ourselves and truth, we put there, we put them there, we can remove them. They are not solid, real, concrete obstacles at all. They were placed there, remove them. That's what our work is. And we have the power to do that. We are not powerless, no matter how victimized or powerless you may feel in any given moment. And perhaps it's a lot because we've all gone there thinking that we're the victim of the world that we see. It's out to get us, our brother's out to get us, the government's out to get us. Other people are going to take our stuff. They're going to rob us of our precious social status, of our money, of our home, of all of our belongings, of our appeal to everybody else, and stuff, and so on and so on. And that's what we're all sick of. We did this to ourselves. Let's undo it. Want to join me? Perfect. Then, welcome. You're still here. Excellent. As always, I invite you to stick around because there is a message for you from the Holy Spirit. It may come at about a minute and a half of elapsed time or 23 minutes and 25 seconds. Who knows? Who knows when it's going to come? But there's a reason that you've clicked this video or that it has been suggested to you. Guess who suggested it to you? In the form of YouTube's algorithm, using the algorithm of YouTube to reach you. Guess who did that? Exactly. We're looking here at these obstacles to peace, and we're attracted here in the world to guilt. We're attracted to death. We claim to fear it, and we may very well fear it, yet we're drawn to it. You've probably known several people in this lifetime, maybe even people that were close to you or are close to you, that were fascinated with the end of the physical body. They were fascinated by this idea that we call death and talked about it a lot. Yeah. Maybe you're one of them, right? We seem to just accept this, that this thing is born, it somehow miraculously enters the world and lives out its finite, extraordinarily finite existence and goes bye bye and, well, no. tough luck. And if you've ever thought about it that way, it's not the most thrilling, and it's kind of a depressing way to look at our experience for sure. Yet, we all know something very, very critically important, that there's more to it than that. Of course, there is. That's why we're all on the spiritual path, because no matter whether you're a long-time course student or a beginning course student or somewhere in between, or whether you're even a course student at all, and you don't have to be, by the way, welcome if you're not. If you're just checking this Course in Miracles thing out, yeah, you don't have to be a course student to really benefit from this discussion and all of these discussions, by the way. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and do that. That's the prompt right there. We're all here on the spiritual path because we recognize, we know deep down that there's more to it than simply eating, sleeping, meeting the needs of this, and protecting our precious and highly elusive and illusory social status on our social media channels and in the work world and stuff. If you've ever thought that's empty, oh yeah, you would be completely right about that. We are drawn to love. The real attraction, the real appeal is to love. It's not to fear. The real appeal, in other words, is to life, not death. That's what we're all really, truly attracted to, which is why we've all had multiple thoughts about this thing called spirituality. And it's why we've embarked on this thing, this collection of practices and prayers and rituals and study that we call the spiritual path. However, that has played out for you, we're all on it because we want the same thing, the peace of God. We all want the peace of God, whether we call it that or not. It actually makes no difference what you call anything at all. We all want the same thing. And as it turns out, that's all there is. So, quite naturally, we're all drawn to truth. We're all drawn to love. We're all drawn to who and what we really, truly are, which is not this. This is finite. It's actually just a symbol, it's a sign. Everything that we see in the world is symbolic. It stands for something. And let's not confuse sign and symbol with source. There are many ways of looking at this, and this is an idea that may be confusing at first. So it's worth some explanation for sure. Everything we see in the world, including this, and the world itself, for that matter, is symbolic. It stands for something. So when we see something beautiful or experience something beautiful here in the world, like a beautiful sunset or a moonlit walk on the beach or a sunny walk on the beach or something like that, it's symbolic of our own radiance as the Son of God. It's symbolic of who and what we really are. It's not the thing itself. The thing itself is beyond symbols, but that's the symbol of it. It symbolizes that, it stands for that. Think of our convention of language that we're using right now. Words, let's just really take a look at what they are. An entire language is simply a collection of sounds. It's a bunch of sounds. We've gotten together and agreed on the meaning of all of these symbols, and they're symbolic because they're not the things that they stand for, and the things that they stand for are illusions too. They're twice removed from reality, as Jesus puts it here in the Course words I'm talking about. Yet here we use them to communicate with one another. There is absolutely no mistake that this broadcast is taking place in a collection of sounds that we refer to as the English language, and it's being broadcast worldwide because there are many, many people who understand it. Absolutely zero mistake at all, and no coincidence. None. Let's not confuse symbols with source. When we look out at something beautiful, it's symbolic of our own radiance, of our own limitlessness, perhaps. Perhaps you see an endless sky or a beautiful sunrise, sunset. You look out on the ocean or the desert or a mountain range, and it seems limitless. The sky seems open. Yeah, it's symbolic of our own radiance, our own limitlessness as the Son of God. When you look out and you see war, warfare, battle, political confrontations, people trolling one another on social media, things like that, that's symbolic of guilt and fear. It's symbolic of our own thought of separation. This course doesn't pay any attention to the symbols. You'll notice that it's not about stuff in the world. When this course talks about attraction, it's the attraction of God. It's the attraction of love to itself. That's what this course means by attraction. And here in the world, we think of attraction as, okay, physical attraction between two people. We even have in popular culture a law of attraction. And when you look out and see countless people talking about that, it's quite often about getting that hot romantic partner or something in the world. And you can look and see that people are deeply confused about what it actually means because one post says one thing, then another post comes along, says something completely different. This course doesn't concern itself with that. When this course says attraction, well, we're talking about the real attraction of love, which is why we're all on the spiritual path. It's about the source, not the symbols. This course doesn't concern itself with getting things in the world. If you happen to get things in the world, like a beautiful romantic partner and a yacht, lots of money, okay, so be it. No problem. It's not the point. And yeah, those things may actually come to you as you forgive, because something very practical is likely, certainly not guaranteed, but likely to happen as the result of your forgiveness. People will be drawn to you. And why wouldn't they be as you become more and more relaxed and chill and happy and joyous and radiant, real radiant and loving, right? Right. Not, it's not the point to get stuff. We're going to work on the source, the mind. Remember, we made these obstacles. We can remove them. And you do have the power to do that. So, what are we invited to do every time we feel fear and guilt, blame, rage, judgment? You may be feeling it right now. If you're not, just wait a minute. You will. Because we experience that in a mad roller coaster ride and an up and down yo yo style parade here in the world. One minute we're feeling great, then very poorly, and that's putting it mildly. Yeah. And then great again, and then not so great. Great, even worse. Better, great, worse, and so on and so forth. Anytime we notice that we're feeling not so great, angry or enraged, fearful, feeling guilty, when we look out and we're afraid, let's invite the Holy Spirit to judge for us. We think we can judge things. Our judgment is faulty. It's faulty because it's coming from the standpoint of separation and the ego. The Holy Spirit doesn't even recognize that, so let Him judge anything fearful for you. He'll look right past all of the supposed separation, not even recognizing it, and see the essence of what is. The more we do this, the more we ask for this help, the better. So we're invited to do that whenever we feel the pangs and the horror, maybe, of fear and guilt in our lives. These ideas may seem really esoteric. They may seem far out there, woo, wild, crazy, all that stuff. They're highly practical. This world is not coming at you, it's coming from you. So, any time you feel less than joyous, it's an opportunity to forgive. It's an opportunity to connect with the Holy Spirit. And again, we mentioned names and naming conventions a little bit earlier. It makes absolutely no difference what you call the Holy Spirit. Remember, a collection of sounds is not the thing that it stands for. So you may call the Holy Spirit anything you like. Call it a different name or call it multiple names and refer to it as your counsel if you wish. Doesn't matter. What matters is the content, not the outward form, which is a label. Doesn't matter what you call your inner teacher. Your inner teacher is inner, part of our mind, which is why, if you're newer to or brand new to this series of videos, we frequently, pretty much all the time, refer to the Holy Spirit as our inner teacher. We do everything with our inner teacher. And if it sounds threatening, understand inner means part of you. You're not ceding power or giving away your power to an outside source when you connect with the Holy Spirit and ask for its guidance. You're not connecting with anything outside you. So, the message here that runs throughout this course that we've put all of these obstacles in place ourselves, we can remove them, is meant to be an empowering message. And perhaps you may see it as a wild wake up call. And perhaps, yeah, we never really know how these messages are going to land for us in a given moment. One day it could seem like a slap in the face, right? And the next day it could seem like a confirmation of something that you've always known. So, however the message lands for you, you were meant to hear it, which is true not only of any of these videos, but any spiritual themed discussion that you ever look at or read or listen to or watch, any of it. There's a message for you, and you'll know what that is. So, along the way, questions are inevitable. This course is very deep, and these videos talk about the course, right? It's a self study curriculum, which means questions are most welcome and they're inevitable. So if you have them, please feel welcome to leave them here. I'm more than happy to answer the questions in the comment thread on YouTube. And if it seems like it's going to be a little bit longer answer, I'm more than happy to record a standalone video or more than one if need be to address the topic at hand. Because if you've got a question, you can bet that other people around the world are wondering the exact same thing. So they're great and I appreciate them. I do look at the comments with regularity too. So I will see them. Again, if you have not yet subscribed, please do that. Prompt is right here. I'd love to have you join us. And I thank you, as always, for tuning in. We'll talk to you soon.